All right, Baggy, you made me do it. I don't know if GALT gets delisted that fast, but we'll see. Let's just get the data first. Qubit did a NASA deal, but they didn't say how much NASA's going to give them, if anything. GALT is a very good short. This is the Qubit, QUBT toxic penny stock network. AVXL is barely up, unless you shorted it at the bottom. But yeah, Rigetti is up a lot. So really volatile stocks, like they're going to go up furiously and violently, and they're going to go down furiously and violently. I shorted Rigetti with a 5, like 550 and 575. It's going back to 1, short more. When it's hard to find good longs, you just have to hold your nose and buy something. You could even buy SPY. We might have to go on GALT watch. It depends on what the big shareholder wants to do. If the big shareholder wants to keep them going, he can. 26,000? How'd they find out? Well, I think they've gotten a number of these, so it's not really clear. Saylor is just so visible to the normies. I'm writing a paper. I need time to write it. You can like a company and short it. If you're shorting a stock, you probably don't like the stock, right? You can like the company. Maybe you like the stock in the really long term. But I don't like this idea of, okay, the stock's going to go down, then it's going to go up. That's kind of too cute for me, I guess. I think I was pretty constructive on 𝗪𝗏 a while back. QBTS and what's QBBT? Milo's great. He's a funny dude. I don't know. Some of the stuff he said lately is a little out of control. But that's Milo for you. You know, just because you talk to somebody doesn't mean you agree with every single thing they say. That's the important thing. Like, I can sit and talk to him without being like, oh, that's how I feel. Like, he is a big thing against Jewish people. But one of his biggest supporters is Jewish. Like, not just Jewish, like Orthodox. You a bag holder. You a victim. Have you been a victim of financial fraud?
𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗢.
Call 1-800-BAGHOLDERS-ANONYMOUS. Bagholders Anonymous?
𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗢.
Yes, we're here to help. I was watching Michael Saylor on TV, and he said I should mortgage everything to buy Bitcoin. And instead of mortgaging everything to buy Bitcoin, I mortgage everything to buy MicroStrategy. I don't know. I guess I'm just a true baggy. Yes, I believe you have what doctors call extremely high levels of bagatonin. Don't tell me that. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? It's okay. It's curable. Oh, thank God. How do I cure my bagatonin? Okay, here's what you do. I need you to go to your account settings. Yes, account settings. Okay. Now what? Hit that button that says close account. No, but I don't want to stop trading. You know, if curing high levels of bagatonin, it's an extreme measure. If we don't do this now, it could get a lot worse. You could be buying quantum computing stocks. Oh, I'm already in quantum computing stocks. Sir, this condition is worse than we thought. We're going to have to put him in baggy ICU. The BICU. Baggy kind. Cut off the fingers that make you click the button. So what's your portfolio?
𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗢.
Well, I'm highly diversified. I have DJT
𝗕𝗏𝗡𝗢𝗍.
for the president. I got MicroStrategy for Saylor. I got my biotech. You know, I got my Huma. I got my GALT. And I got my tech. I got some quantum computing. Highly diverse.
𝗕𝗏𝗘𝗢.
You know what's sad is this is actually the portfolio for a lot of people. It's bagalicious. Okay, now when you bought MicroStrategy, was the price low? Oh, let me check. I bought at the top. We got another one, John. And why'd you buy at the top? I saw people talking about it on Twitter. I thought it was a good buy. Oh, he was still in Weizmann. There are many excellent Israeli universities. It doesn't mean every single guy there is good. It's very tough because these guys have spent their life researching this one thing, okay? And They are convinced of it, because why else would you spend your life researching it, right? And my experience with these guys is no matter what you tell them, it's very hard to get through to them. And it doesn't mean you have to convince them that you're right and they're wrong. But so sometimes there is a way to get through to it, to get the information you want. But it's pretty painful because these guys want to talk about their life's work, and you're sitting there thinking their life's work is rubbish. And GARP knows. It's the same theme over and over again, right? I'm sure this guy is a fantastic guy, but he trained, and I think he's a lot more credible, Dr. Raz. So Dr. Raz is in Israel. He comes to America, opens a lab. Dr. Platt comes to America, becomes a fellow. And everything's fine. They publish a paper together. Platt says, I'm going to start a company around this. Perfectly fine. But his efforts fail. He starts another company. That's ended up being called Galectin. That effort mostly has failed. We're going to see the final nail in the coffin shortly. But Platt gets kicked out, it seems, and ends up starting a third company. Now to use the same stuff, which is basically orange peel or apple peel, to use the same stuff, except this time for COVID. So he's gone from cancer, HIV, liver fibrosis to now COVID. And the COVID effort fails. It's just like, this guy is probably eating orange peels by the bushel, making his kids do it, and his wife. Eat the peels. Eat them. I told you this is good for you. So, it gets so much worse. Scientists get very biased and blinded by their very own work, which is really funny. I see it all the time. It's not that I think it. They've shown it. They've shown it. In fact, a guy from his own lab proved it, that it was not real. And they contrived some other reason why it might be working. But they still keep the old reason, which is really correct. That is correct. Dr. Raz's work has now been called into question. But I don't want to nitpick on basic scientific research necessarily, because I need to dive in a little bit more, but there's no doubt GALT will fail. I just want to really trace back the story. Well, Bitcoin is not up 8% technically. On Godel, our change price on Bitcoin is not exactly reliable, but Bitcoin is roughly flat right now. NFX doesn't have earnings. I'm shorting QUBT. Yeah, Lena Khan's, trying to get relevant using my name. It's the only case she won because she got an activist judge. Hello. The best thing is QMCO. Wait, not QMCO. There's DDS. No, wait, DSS. What is Quantum Inc? Quantum tape drives stock. QMC, this is it? QMCO. Yeah. These guys are a tape drive company. They have nothing to do with quantum computing. The stock was at 3 before. That's at 25. They literally just have the name quantum. That's all they have. Maybe it was undervalued before. $3. Now it's 25. No, it's a really small market cap, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. Between MicroStrategy, we're in a bubble. We need to raise rates. fart coin. Anyway, trade accordingly. You know what I'm doing, so just be careful. Don't ever over short something. You know, keep your position size low unless you want the risk. If you want the risk, don't cry when you get the pain. It's very rare to press a button and you make instant profits. That's not how trading works. You know, be prepared for the pain. Corvis came out with some very mediocre data. I'm surprised it worked at all. Rigetti, could you analyze it? Yes, I've looked at the quantum space. It's not easy to short Fartcoin. You have to have a bunch of weird brokerage accounts or use some protocols. I'm not sure I have like perfect reason for shorting Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is just overvalued Bitcoin, but nobody's willing to be bearish on Bitcoin. I think there's no more catalyst for Bitcoin. The SBR was kind of like the last catalyst, and Saylor kind of makes a fool out of himself, leveraging up and buying it. I'm losing money on Qubit. Pretty brutal, but I'll wait. Let them have their fun. I can't short it on Interactive. The stock market's not a religion, okay? You don't get extra points for being a zealot. You don't get extra points for having it longer than somebody else. You don't get a dividend every year from JP Morgan. Oh, congratulations, you've been a long-term stockholder. Here's double the stock. Congratulations, here's double the stock. Anybody get that dividend? The loyalty dividend? No? Be thoughtful, always be skeptical, always be careful. AstraZeneca, Moderna, Vertex are a couple biopharmas that I like. Oh, IonQ is up now? IonQ was just down. I think AstraZeneca is cheaper than the rest, yeah. It's not down, it's just in superposition. Regeneron, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're manipulated. I mean, somebody has to hold the bag eventually. I'm down a lot on Qubit. As a short seller, you learn to take pain. ETH has just been underperforming. I'm not hedging any of my quantum stuff, at the moment at least. I mean, IV is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, IonQ is back down again. Phew. No, umami, I am not messaging anybody on Discord. That's just a scammer pretending to be me. Everything is down, not my QUBT. Yeah, there's charts. We're adding TradingView charts soon, so that's gonna be good. Yeah, Michael, that works until it doesn't. But momentum is a good strategy. You should own some momentum stocks, because if you're just short all momentum stocks, it's not really healthy either. Oh, you didn't like the Corvis data? QUBT, great short. It's barely a company. The Corvis results weren't positive. They weren't as bad as I thought they could be. GALT were saving the best for last, I guess. I mean, Bitcoin, the fact that MicroStrategy has bought so much Bitcoin and it hasn't changed the price of Bitcoin tells you something. Speculators and other people are liquidating. He's exit liquidity. Eventually, Nim. Eventually. Still a lot of speculation out there. TMDX, WGS. I'm not sure. I haven't followed SMCI too closely. Just like one of these trading stocks you got to go in and out of. Yeah, the Qubit situation is really crazy. I definitely think it's a short. I just haven't gotten a chance. Biggest short is GALT, which we should be getting any day now. The FDA can allow another company to make a company's drug. So I don't think that's going to ever be possible, because it sort of defeats the whole point of the drug industry and the FDA. But I don't know that it affects HIMSS that much. HIMSS is executing with or without GLP-1s. I really want to short more QUBT, no locate. And the fee is like 50%. It's probably going to go up even higher. Same thing with GALT. GALT's got some problems. So the basic idea around Galectin therapeutics, which is GALT, is that they're taking orange peel or apple peel and putting it in an IV. So it's IV orange peel, intravenous orange peel. They say they have cash until May, and they owe their largest shareholder a ton of money. So now he might forgive them the money, but God forgives, but I don't. It's intravenous every 2 weeks. And they're saying that it's a Galectin-3 inhibitor. What if I told you that was a lie? They lied about everything. They made SAVA look honest. Oh, and what if I told you they did a clinical trial in NASH and it failed? Have no compassion for the holidays. I hope the GALT executives' kids don't get any presents and they cry. That's what you get for putting Apple pumice in phase 3. I'm heartless. Just call me the Grinch. And I hope all of your quantum computing stocks go to zero, especially you, QUBT, and Fartcoin. Don't forget Fartcoin. We got Corvis, CRVS. You just short and hope for the best, Todd. GALT was 3 or 4% until I opened my big mouth. There are weeklies on QUBT? Yo, it's about to get lit. Should I sell? I think I should sell these weeklies. Could QUBT be 15 by Friday? Probably. VKTX is the worst. Biggest dog in the market. No, I like it. I like VKTX. It's just like NTLA for me. It's going to be painful forever. I'm never going to make any money. Is that a new IPO? 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗧. Oh, it's on the American exchange. That's why. Okay, yeah, we have to add those. Yeah, Derek, tell me about it. Didn't Merck already have this drug? Merck might have an injectable, I guess. Chinese make these drugs really fast. I would think that'd be bullish for, that's sort of bullish for GPCR, but I guess the perception would be that they passed over GPCR, but I don't know if that's their strat or not. Like maybe, I don't know. I don't know if Bitcoin's a long-term short. I just like it as a trade because the market's so frothy. And if Bitcoin's going to go down, MicroStrategy is going to go down harder. I like Palantir against these positions. I like ADMA. I like Moderna. I like Resolute. There's a bunch of stocks. Not everything's a short. Darius, they've said that they'll report phase 3 within the next, well, in the month of December. But I know they've already had this data, man. I don't know what they're doing. If you're listening, put out that data and make sure you tell the truth. I'll know if you're lying. I'll know. Yeah, usually it's 2 or 3 days. Maybe 1 day even for most companies. There's no sense in holding on to the news any longer than it takes to just process it and put it out. But they also, they could be doing something squirrely where they're trying to understand it and like come up with like some kind of way to spin it or something like that. Hope they're not thinking that's a good idea, but no shares in Fidelity. Yeah, the yellow apple peels did better than the red ones. We had the wrong oranges for this study. Everything was going fine. The bears are in control today. I don't think the, oh yeah, I guess so. It would make sense to sort of wait for the Trump administration to do something and see how things are going to go, because Bitcoin sort of makes sense for situations where the government needs checks and balances, which it always does, but especially needing it. Yeah, Rigetti is down at the moment. And with these kinds of stocks, being down is really bad because like the people that piled in get very like, they scratch their heads because they were hoping they were in a momentum stock. So when momentum reverses, it gets very ugly very fast. So I'm excited. I'm excited to make so many nice new bag holders. New baggies want to give me all your money at once. It's like, first the MicroStrategy baggies are like, here, take my money, please, Martin. I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. Let me look at the numbers and see if I want to take your money. And then all of a sudden the GALT people are like, no. I've got money for you, Martin. This is apple peel for liver fibrosis and it already failed. Please take my money. And then the quantum guys are like, hold on a second over there. I turn around and it's like 5 different guys. And they're like, we got something for you. We want to give you our money. And I'm like, Martin, don't you know quantum is the future? Well, I've been studying quantum computing for the last 10 years. Don't you know it's the future then? Well, there's a bit of a nuance to it. Why are you a page short? Well, I'm not saying I'm a page short. I'm a short, but I just feel like, all right, Baggy, you made me do it. Yeah, Qubit doesn't really have a business. I want to buy their annealer just to show it off. And just be like, what can I do with this? I purchased one. Now show me what can I do with it? Show me. They're like, nothing. That's what I thought. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. QMCO is the best one. QMCO is Quantum Corp, which makes tape drives. Tape drives have nothing to do with quantum. They don't even pretend that they have anything to do with quantum. They just call it quantum because it's a cool name. George Soros' hedge fund was called Quantum. It is a cool name. It means amount, I think, in Latin, right? Quanta. And the whole idea of a quantized amount is like an amount that can't be broken down anymore. So this was the whole idea of quantum mechanics. This guy named Planck. So they have a cool name, but it's not a quantum computing company. It's not a computing company at all. It's a storage company. They just use old tapes, cassette tapes, for permanent, you know, tapes, believe it or not, are still useful. Well, believe it or not, I mean, they are still useful, and there probably is a space for tape storage. That's why I'm not shorting QMCO. I don't know what the base business is all about. There still is a need for tape drives, believe it or not. I would not, Google is a $2 trillion company. Like, the quantum's not going to move their needle. I still have to do the work on Intel. Yeah, Jojo, I mean, we're in a bubble, a speculative bubble, and that's why I like the short. I mean, basically short everything, but you know, you have to have some hedges. You have to be long something. Photon shares. No, I was not super short Corvis. Wish I was. Yeah, IBM's still in the business. Superposition, profit and loss. See, now the people who bought Rigetti are like, at like 12 are like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And they're like, yeah, I might have to sell this. I don't even know what this is. But the true baggie is like, I liked it at 12. I love it at 11. Oh, A2 baggie. A2. True baggie's like, I got like 3,000 in my Chase account. I got my girl's credit card. I'm getting paid next week. If I put all of that in my Robinhood and I max out my Rigetti and it goes to 200, I'm a millionaire. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm saying it has to happen. And then he hears about QUBT, and that's when the head turns, like that meme with the girl. These guys have even less revenue. But yeah, the average Rigetti momentum trader is like, I don't know what this stock does, but it's going up every day. I might as well buy some before I miss out. Buys it at 12.5. It's at 12. You know, it's going to go up. It's at 11.5. Now at 11, it's like, man, I thought this stock only goes up every day. I got to get out. By that person getting out, it goes to 10.5. Now the next thing happens to the same guy who was sitting on gains. He's saying, I got to get out of this thing before it turns red on me. Then it's 10. Then before you know it, it's back to where it was before. Especially if there's no new news on quantum, which the last time Google put out news was a year ago. So maybe Google will make a breakthrough every year, but if you actually learn about what these companies do, you'll know that Google's breakthrough wasn't that big of a deal, and Google's been lying a lot about their quantum progress, and that actually the quantum space is kind of ugly. Point is, I can't wait for GALT. You know, GALT rhymes with malt. Just realized. It's like maltose. But Galectin is for galactose. You know, galactose and glucose are epimers? Malt liquor. And halt. GALT and halt. And malt. GALT's going to go to like 5 cents soon. A lot of people are like, Martin, the market cap's too small. GALT's too small cap for me. And I look it up. And I see, okay, so the market cap's 132 million, right? They got a lot of debt too. So if it's 132 million, okay, so let's say I shorted 5% of the company. That's 6.6 million. You telling me you don't want $6.6 million? If I wired you $6.6 million, you wouldn't be having a nice day? I know billionaires where you give them 100 grand, they're happy. So, yeah, it's still worth shorting. I don't care what the market cap is. How much money can I make? That's good money. For a sure thing, I'll take $1 million, let alone 6. Every dollar adds up. I got my jail buddy who I like get along with. All the jail guys like him. And then I see some guys chatting and laughing at each other, and he goes, "Oh, he hit a lick." And I go, "Hit a lick? What does that mean?" And he's like, "Hit a lick. You know what it means." No, I don't. It means to have a come up. Well, what's a come up? It's a come up. It's a lick. You like winning the lotto. Fortuitous development in cash flow. Exactly. An unexpected windfall. I see. Ooh, Rigetti's starting to fall apart. That guy that bought at 11, the guy who's like, "Nah, I'm just early to the story. I'm going to get my mama's IRA in this one." Now it's at 1040. He's like, "Well, hold on. If I do an overtime shift at Arby's, I'm going to have $300 extra to buy RGTI with. And if this is the next Intel, well, Intel hit 200. I was in Gen Pop. My mama IRA. My girl credit card. Baby, can I get like 500? Rigetti's down, man. I need to buy some. What was a Rigetti? It's a quantum computer. Man, here, you don't need no quantum computer. Oh. You trying to buy Rigetti? We need some spaghetti in this house. My baby hungry. It comes from robbing a liquor store. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Uncle Drax. Thank you, Unc. GALT is by year end. Down to the next 2 weeks for GALT. It all comes down to this. They have one trial. It's all over. Just like cassava. It depends on chickens, guys. I mean, you got to do your own homework too. I'm just showing you some stuff. I'm not going to hold the hands of every single person because everyone has different risk management. Everyone has different ideas. You might hear an idea and say, I don't know if I like this, Martin's quantum computing thing. It's not for me. Someone might say, oh yeah, I already know this because I have a friend in quantum computing. This is great. I'm going to go all in. Someone else might say, I'm really risk averse. I'm only going to try a tiny bit. I don't even know quantum from anything else. Some people here are biotech experts. Some people are not. It's all a function of you. No, I'm short ion Q, and I'm short QUBT. QUBT is probably the best one.